Your parents were right. It is the damn phones. Do you remember maybe you were a little bit younger and you would tell your mother that you're feeling tired all the time? She would say something like, "Yeah, of course you're always tired. You're always on that damn phone. I don't see you doing anything but being on that phone all day." And she was kind of right. Because, of course, she cannot understand the way that we grew up with the technology. Because in her time, the only time you used your cell phone was to call your friends, set a meeting point, and then go and play outside or do something outside with them. But now, nobody really uses his phone just to call his friends. For example, in my case, I use maybe a 100th of my screen time to call people. So when I use my phone, I mostly doom scroll on Instagram Reels and I watch some YouTube videos. Of course, I also use other apps, like for example, when I'm in school, we have like some special apps that we need for some subjects. For example, in English, we have Quizlet, or Google is also really fine to use because you can always search up. Maybe we do some research in school. But for the most part, I use my phone to consume content. And we mostly use our phones to pass time. Or how my philosophy teacher would put it, we use them to kill time. For example, you're waiting on your bus. You see the bus is 5 minutes late. What's your first impulse? You take out your phone, you scroll for 5 minutes, then you get on the bus, then you listen to music or study or whatever. Or for example, when you set the meeting time with your friend at 6, but you come there early and it's 5:50, what do? You sit on that bench, you take out your phone and you scroll until your friend arrives. But just think about it. How dumb is it to kill your time? You're literally killing your time. Because you see, guys, when we are born, there is a clock somewhere that starts ticking backwards. That clock is like our time, the time that we have on this earth. And you know that the time we have on this earth is limited. So why would you kill it? I remember when I was in elementary school, I felt like one day was an eternity. I felt that a week was equivalent to a month right now. Because time just wouldn't go on. I felt like when my mother or my father took me somewhere to her friends or his friends, I felt like I was there for eternity. Everything just moved so slowly and time just went by so slowly. But nowadays, it's not like that anymore. And this kind of scares me because there was an event that happened at my school, and we all needed to participate, all classes needed to be there and look at it. And in my head, I had this idea that this event happened like last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. But yesterday I talked with my classmate about it, and I realized that the event was actually 1.5 months ago. And that really hit me because I realized that time flies. There is a quote that like once was really popular on Instagram. This quote goes, "Life is short. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you might miss it." And that really brings it down to the point that we cannot continue doom scrolling and letting ourselves distract from the real world, because time goes on no matter what you do. If you look at your phone, if you don't look at your phone, if you distract yourself, if you don't distract yourself, time is going to pass, and one day you will not be as young, as strong, and as energized as you are right now. So you need to build a story of yourself right now. Now is the time to go outside, meet people, make experiences, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, try again, maybe make another mistake, learn from that. Now is the time. So why are you still staying at home and killing your time? Now, from a logical perspective, the days and the minutes and the hours didn't become shorter. You just perceive them as shorter. Of course, right now, a fraction, 1 hour would be a way smaller fraction of your life than it was 10 years ago. But still, 1 hour is still 1 hour. And if you try to do one thing, which I would really recommend you to do, is to stare at the white wall for 1 whole hour. Without your phone, without anything that could distract you. You just look at the wall for 1 hour. And you will see that 1 hour is actually quite a long time. Another exercise that you could do, but this exercise is a step higher than the other exercise. Let's say it's the weekend, it's Saturday. For 1 whole day, you do not use your phone. And now you will say, but what if I need to text someone, or what if I need to get a text from someone? If you need to talk to someone, you just call. Or if you're afraid that you might miss something important, believe me, if they don't call you for that, then it's not that important. For 1 whole day, I want you to not take out your phone, not look at the TV, not play video games. Just do something else. You can read, you can go outside, you can cook something, you can stare at the white wall, but you cannot use no technology whatsoever. And you will see, you will get bored. And that is the goal of this exercise. You have to get bored. And once you're bored, your brain will automatically want to distract itself or do something. So if you have like a school assignment, or if you have something else that you need to do, maybe you have some work outside, maybe you have a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, just something. The brain needs to distract itself, and you will see you will start to do something that is actually productive. But the biggest goal of this exercise is to make you realize how much time you are actually spending on your phone. Because for me, in my case, I spend like about 4 hours a day on my phone, and that is way too much. That is just way too much. That is 1/6 of the whole day, And if we don't count the sleeping hours, so let's make 24 minus 8, that's 16. That's 1/4 of my whole day that I spent on my phone. And that is just unacceptable. In 4 hours, you can make so many things. You can make so many experiences. And who knows, maybe if you just go outside and do something, there are lucky days. Maybe you will meet someone, maybe you will make a new friend, and you just need to be there, because sometimes you will have luck. Most of the times, the days will just go by normally, but at least you can say that you lived your life to the fullest, that you lived every second of your life, that you have been present all your life. Because you see, the phones are not even that bad that they are distracting yourself so much. But if you look at social media the whole time, you just get so detached from reality. You start to see the world in an other way, in a really strange way, in a way that is not really the real world. And you will be just so anxious all the time to fit in the highest elite of the class, because when you look at Instagram reels, like the coolest people are like the peoples with the most followers, and you are also trying to be so socially accepted that you are always anxious about what you do. I don't know if I made myself really clear, but you are always trying to fit in, and you always want people to like you, even if you have to fake yourself. And that really gives you an inner anxiety that it's just better not to have. Just visualize yourself in the future. Let's say you have a wife, you have children, you have a son who is like in his teen years, and he will ask you, what did you do when you were at my age? What will you answer to your son? Will you tell him, yeah, I went to school, I came back from school, I scrolled on my phone the whole day, and besides that, I didn't really do much? Is it really that what you want your son to look up? Because your son will look at you no matter what, will look up to you no matter what. But is this really the example that you want to give your son? Just think about it. Because you will have experiences, you will have things to tell them, like some crazy things that happened in your life. But just imagine when you are outside of the house, when you're doing things with your friends, sometimes there will be nothing to talk about. But on other days, there will be things that none of you will ever forget in your life. And that is also something that I really hate about our generation, that when we talk to our parents, they tell us like some crazy stories they did with, like our fathers did with their friends, and they did illegal stuff, and they just did real crazy stuff. And in our generation, it's really hard to find people who actually want to do stuff with you, because everyone is just so focused on himself, and everyone is just so isolated that there are not really those big friend groups that used to exist. Another example for that is just, do you remember when maybe a couple of years ago you went outside in summer and there were always kids with bikes? There were always kids playing around somewhere. But they somehow just despawned. When I go outside, I never see children. I never see kids riding their bikes or playing football. It's It's been a really long time since the last time I saw that. I've got to be honest. And that is also one thing that really frightens me. But back to the other argument. Just visualize yourself in a couple of years. Just imagine if you just went outside, you will meet new people. You will also meet girls. You will make experiences. You will have a story to tell. And just imagine how big of a figure you can be to your son when he just looks up to you about the things that you did. Because, to be honest, all we men need to make some dad lore. We all need to do some stuff that we need to tell our kids so that they look up to us, so that we can be an example for them. But we don't do that just for them. We do it for ourselves. If you really just went outside, you met new people, you talk with a lot of people, you did things that you like, you really find your own interests. Just imagine if you could fulfill yourself if it wasn't for the phone to stop you. Because most of the time when you will be outside, it will be boring. You and your friends will not know what to do. But it is exactly boredom that makes you step out of your comfort zone and you will start to do anything. Maybe one of you will have a car. You will drive around in the car. You will go somewhere. You will do something. No matter what you do, you will tell it to your children. And even just for now, just imagine how much more interesting you will appear to other people when you tell them about the things you do, about when you really live the things that you like to do. You just get a sense of energy that other people perceive. And just imagine when you meet a girl, you're on a date with a girl, and you tell them about the things you do, maybe with your friends, maybe alone, maybe with your brothers or something. And she's on the other side of the table and you tell them your stories and she just laughs, because most of the time the stories that we have to tell are just funny. There are just some shit that happens, you know? And just imagine her on the other side and she just laughs and giggles and she just realizes that you have something to offer that most other guys don't have. And that is that you don't have a boring life. Just imagine how many things you can experience, how many experiences you can make, how many people you can meet, how many things you will see, how you could fulfill yourself if your phone addiction didn't stop you.